that
Yeah.
cell phone episode.
Yes.
I understand you guys were a little annoyed that, well, first of all, how did they get video of that? They shouldn't have been recording that, right?
Look, you know, it's not the first barbecue for us. I mean, I know people are videoing and you can't stop it, really. I think it's a shame, but that's the way things are. Luckily, I don't think people are going to not come to the theatre because they see something. Unlike the movie business, where it's very, very dangerous, you know, piracy. I think with theatre, I don't think it's going to stop people coming.
Yeah, and what did you think of that whole episode? I thought it was funny. I have to say, when I came to see you, I came to a Sunday matinee.
Yeah.
And there was some lady, I think, in the third row or something, the left side of the stage, if you're facing out.
Yeah.
And she was talking, or she was doing something, and it was distracting because I wasn't sitting that far from her. And you started talking to her in the middle of the play. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and what was she doing, by the way?
It was hard for me to tell, but I'm pretty sure she couldn't find a seat or something. And then someone else was saying, "Will you be quiet?" And it's just like any conversation. I mean, I know I'm pretending to be someone else up there, but I'm not pretending about having a conversation. I'm really trying my hardest to connect with every person in the theatre.
Well, you totally stayed in character.
Right, when someone's talking through it, it's like, "Are you all right? You want to finish? Yeah, it's up to you. Unless you got a better story, you want to tell your story." And funnily enough, it kind of breaks that fourth wall immediately, and it works well. But you were one seat in front of me. You couldn't understand what she was saying.
Well, no. I just know that she was noisy, and then I thought, was it an elderly person who was having trouble? I just couldn't figure it out. I thought you handled it really well.
Until later, that they came and apologised and found out it was a very elderly lady.
Oh, really?
Who couldn't find a seat. Oh. And I was like, I thought, I might have been a little tough. But it was becoming an issue because people were talking. But anyway, poor thing.
Aw.
But
well, did she get to meet you?
No.
No. No. And what happened with the cell phone? It just started going off and nobody was answering it, or?
Sometimes we stop the show, but it was the worst possible moment in the show. It's a point where my character is appealing to the audience for understanding of a really traumatic moment. I won't get into the details, but it's about this kid that's haunting me. So this thing I did, and I can't sleep. I go to bed, and I always see his face. And through this whole speech, the phone is ringing and ringing. And I'm thinking, just let it go. This is not a time to stop the show. And finally, I could hear other people going, "Turn off your phone."
All the time.
So I said, will you get it? You want to get it?
You want to get that?
Because I thought, what's coming up is even more important. And I thought, I have to stop now. But it was that moment when people don't turn off the phone because they've let it ring 3 times and it's too late to go for it. And they're thinking, I know, I'll pretend it's someone else's. So they're doing, yeah, I could tell what was going on. They're doing that. And probably underneath, stamping on their bag to try and smash their phone, you know. But
they must have been so mortified, by the way. Can you imagine?
So mortified. And then it stopped. And just as about to start, it starts ringing again. Oh so whoever's like insistent. So I mean, this is karma, by the way, because Deb, who you know, my wife, is quite famous for 2 things: falling asleep in the theatre and leaving her phone on, right? And I remember ringing her one time. I didn't know where she was, and I rang her, and she goes, "Hello." I said, "Where are you?" And she goes, "I'm at the theatre." I said, "And you answered the phone?" I said, "Turn your phone off." She goes, No. I'll walk out. I'll talk to you in a sec." And then I hear this clunk, chairs falling. It was in this small theatre. And she goes, "Oh, it's all right. I can talk now." I said, "Deb, that is shocking."